Hello to everyone at La Casa, Argentina. I'm Nina Tokayer from Yonina. We had a great time performing for you guys on Yom Yerushalayim. And I'd like to share with you just a few thoughts about Shavuot, about Matan Torah, the receiving of the Torah that happened on Shavuot. So when Am Yisrael are at Har Sinai receiving the Torah, the first thing that Hashem tells them, the first part of Aseret HaDibrot, the Ten Commandments, is Anochi Hashem Elokecha Asher Hotzeticha Me'eretz Mitzrayim. And I once heard from Rav Sherki a very interesting question. He says, yeah, obviously, it was just a few months ago. It's not this, not long has passed between the time in which they left Egypt, they left Mitzrayim, to when they came to Har Sinai and got the Torah. They all clearly remember the incredible miracles of leaving Egypt. And how could anyone forget? So why is it that Hashem feels the need to introduce himself again, to start off the Aseret HaDibrot by saying that, by saying, remember me, I took you guys out of Egypt. So he gives an interesting mashal, an interesting parable. And he says, if you every day go to the same falafel store and you see the same man selling the falafel there, if he sees you one day and he says, hey, I'm Yossi, remember me? You met me yesterday. So you'll say, yeah, of course, Yossi, I remember you. I go here every day. But on the other hand, if one day after going to Yossi's falafel store, you then see him dressed in a suit and a tie in court, then he'll need to approach you and say, hey, remember me? I'm Yossi from the falafel store. It's the same me. Because you're seeing him in a totally different situation, in a totally different setting, and it's unfamiliar. At which point he'll say, do you recognize my face? It's me, Yossi, from the falafel store, but today I'm a lawyer. So how is this related to Yetziat Mitzrayim? So when Am Yisrael was leaving Mitzrayim, was leaving Egypt, Hashem took the role almost of a general in an army, in the sense that he took Am Yisrael out with a lot of miracles and the ten plagues, and really created Am Yisrael from nothing. They became a nation. They left Egypt and they started their journey towards Eretz Israel. And when Am Yisrael see Hashem on Har Sinai giving the Torah, he appears in a totally different role. He has a very different job. He has the job of a rabbi or of a teacher teaching Torah. Suddenly it's a spiritual connection. So it's very different, the two experiences. And that's what Chazal tell us, that in Yetziat Mitzrayim, the way Am Yisrael experienced Hashem was like a general, almost like a king taking his people out to war. And the way Am Yisrael experienced Hashem at Har Sinai when giving the Torah was like a teacher, like a rabbi, giving over Torah, giving over inspiration. Which is why Hashem feels the need to start off Ma'amad Har Sinai and Aseret HaDibrot, the Ten Commandments, by saying, it's the same me. The same Hashem that took you out of Egypt with all those big miracles, that created you as a nation, is the same Hashem which is giving you the Torah. So what does that mean? Am Yisrael has a connection and has meaning on two different levels. On one hand, Am Yisrael, we're a nation, we're people, we have a country that we're connected to, Eretz Israel, and when we exist as a nation, as a Am. On the other hand, a lot of people around the world believe that Judaism is just a spirituality, it's a religion, just like there's other religions, it's something that you personally practice, that you believe, it's a spiritual connection. And really, I think what Hashem is trying to tell Am Yisrael is that it's both. Is that our connection to Judaism, our connection to Am Yisrael, has two different levels, And you can't really have one without the other. Meaning, yes, technically we could have Am Yisrael without having the Torah, but what would our purpose be? What would our mission be? It would just be another nation, like all the other nations around the world. And on the other hand, you could have the Torah without having a connection to the community, to Am Yisrael, to Eretz Yisrael. But then it's just a religion. It's something that you experience on your own. It's like I once heard from my mom that when she first started keeping Shabbat, it was after she had gotten married to my father. They were in their early 30s, and they started observing Shabbat together. And she said, we tried doing it on our own, but it really didn't feel like Shabbat. Meaning, you can have the religion and the spirituality of the Torah, of Judaism, on your own, but it doesn't have the same power that it has when it's part of a nation, when it's part of Am Yisrael, when it's part of a community. And I think that that's really what Hashem is trying to say. So connected to that, there's something very interesting that I read in the Mensaje, which is a book that goes along according to the months of the Jewish calendar of the year. And every month it brings the hidden meanings in that month. So the Mensaje says that according to Kabbalah, to Sefer Yetzirah, every month has a part of the body that it's connected to. And the month of Sivan, which is the month that we're in right now, approaching Shavuot, Matan Torah, is the left leg. Now, when I read that, I was a little bit surprised. The left leg, it seems a little bit, I don't know, not important enough. If it was maybe both of our legs, then it would feel more valuable. But why is the month of Sivan, the month in which we receive the Torah, only the left leg? But when I kept reading, I understood it a little bit more, because he then says that the right leg is the month of Nisan, in which Pesach happens, in which we left Mitzrayim. And again, I think it connects to the same idea, meaning we have two legs, and we can stand on each one of them, but we can really only move forward if we use both our feet, if we use both our legs. One of these legs is Nisan, is Pesach, is us being created as a nation, as an Am, and us leaving Mitzrayim and heading towards Eretz Yisrael. And the other leg is the month of Sivan, in which we have Shavuot, in which we get the Torah, in which we have our spiritual connection to Hashem. And really, in order for Am Yisrael to fulfill its purpose in this world, to be a Or Lagoim, a Mamlechet Kohanim Vegoy Kadosh, to be able to spread the light of the Torah and Hashem to the entire world, we need to have both. We can't just be individual people practicing the Torah in our own homes without a national connection. And we can't only be a nation with a land, but without any meaning, any purpose, which is what the Torah gives us. The Torah is what gives us our purpose. So I want to bless us all that we'll have a meaningful Chag Shavuot, that we'll be able to walk forward with both our feet, with our right foot of the month of Nisan and our left foot of the month of Sivan, and have both a connection to spirituality, to the Torah, and to our community, to our nation, to Am Yisrael and Eretz Yisrael. And I really believe that when we combine all of those together, we'll be able to move forward as a people, and to bring the whole world forward together with us. Blessing you all with a meaningful Chag Shavuot, a lot of health, and Bezrat Hashem, would love to see you one day in Eretz Yisrael. And thank you. Chag Sameach.